So sorry for the delay this week, but here I am. I'm going to give you a little recap of Thursday evening and some of the previous learning. So first of all, we talked about breath, generally inhaling, lifting, lengthening, exhaling, down, softening, and maintaining that breath throughout your whole practice. So finding that even inhale and exhale at the beginning of your practice so you can keep that steadiness throughout the whole of the practice. Obviously, when we're getting more stronger engaging poses, then the breath gets a little bit shorter, or sometimes we even forget to breathe. So it's just always being mindful, come back to the breath, and keeping that nice steady even inhale and exhale in most of the poses. Then last week we talked a little bit about engagement. So where can you feel the engagement in a particular pose? Now, if you're in a pose that's not a restocked, if you're in a relaxing pose, then obviously you're not engaging. But generally the poses are engaging your muscles so that you can build strength. And if you're in a pose and you're not feeling any engagement, then we need to be working with that and finding that engagement. So making little alterations. And you can do that with your own body. Just thinking, what happens if I just push down with that foot? What happens if I push through that hand? Do I start to feel that engagement? Where do I feel that engagement? Yes, so a little bit about the engagement, the breath, and the spinal movements. So we've got going over to the different sides, left side, right side, moving the spine. We've got forward bend, which I'll show you in a minute, and back bend of the spine. We've got the extension of the spine, the length coming up, and we've also got the twist into the spine. And it was lovely to hear some of you doing this at home. You know, if you're seated at work on your laptop or something. So inhaling up and then twisting to the side, inhaling, twisting to that side. So that's the other two movements of the spine. Ideally, moving the spine in all directions each day would be great. But obviously we don't always get a chance to. So just whatever you can do. So yes, spinal movement, breath, and the engagement. This week we're going to be talking about compassion for your own body and compassion for others. And I'll just be doing a couple of recaps. So we started Warrior 1 last Thursday. We did butterfly pose and we did a forward fold while seated. So 3 different ones that we just touched upon last week. So I'll just review them. I'll begin with the warrior. So warrior, you can get into it in a couple of different ways. In the class on Thursday, we started by standing at the back of the mat and then we stepped forward into the Warrior 1 pose. So this is a nice, easy way of entering into the pose. Things to be mindful of. Are you on a tightrope? Because if you are, you're not going to feel balanced there. So sorry, you can't see my feet at the moment, but if you imagine that if you're on one singular line, you're not going to have much balance. So bring the hips a little bit wider, find the foundation, find the strength there. Okay, so in that Warrior 1, we're working with finding engagement through that front thigh. If you're not feeling anything there, then we're not working into it. So if it's soft like this, we're not engaging it. So take it forward to whatever's right for you and really feel that engagement in the thigh. Mindful, Knee should not be over ankle. So just take the foot forward a little bit and then you're there. And then you're really thinking about bringing the chest shining forward there. Nice alignment, head over chest, over pelvis, looking forward. I'll come so I'm looking in this direction for you all. So you can see that. So it's a nice straight looking down there. And then a couple of other things you can add to the engagement. Thinking about the back heel working towards the mat, starting to feel that engagement. Thinking about the front foot pushing down into the earth. Do you then start to feel a bit more engagement there? And then even considering the back foot and the front foot almost sliding together. There's not going to be any movement there particularly, but just the act of thinking about that will then suddenly put more engagement there as well. So that's all about the foundation, making sure you've got a strong foundation through the feet, up through the leg. You're safe with the knee and the ankle, and you're feeling good there. And then the next thing is the arms. So arms, when you're a beginner, it's quite nice to start out with arms out here. You're still using them. We're still bringing the energy levels up. And then we're working towards bringing them all the way to the top there. So you can either have them wide or hands together, up to you. And then lengthening on the inhale, softening on the exhale, finding your position and not forgetting to breathe when you're there. Okay, so we just did that from the back of the mat, stepping forward, find your place, make sure you set up before you take it up anywhere else. You could also do the warrior one, standing from the front and stepping back. That might be easier for some of you. And very quickly, I'll show you where we'll be going with the next part of the course. It's going from a downward dog, taking the leg up, bending, looking forward, bringing that foot forward, and then coming up, wherever you want to be. Okay, so that was the warrior one. By name, by nature, it's strong. You know, you're feeling focused, driven. It's a great pose. Very good for the thigh muscles. You should feel them the next day. Okay, I'm just going to do this, move a bit quicker now for you guys. So I'm going to keep going on and on as I do. I'm going to show you the butterfly pose. So butterfly pose, let's bring you a bit closer. There you go. Butterfly pose. As you know, I've injured my foot, so I might not be doing it as I'll be kind to myself. Okay, so I'm bringing the feet together. Now, when you're a beginner, as usual with any pose, or even if you've been doing it for 20 years, it doesn't matter. You've got to listen to your body. So is it better that your feet are out here? Do you want to take them up here? Does that feel good for you? What's within your body's limits there? How do you feel good there? So taking the feet into the body, into each other. You've got these nice butterfly wings here. Moving the flesh away from the bottom before you start is good. And then taking the option, you're either clasping the hands over the toe boxes, and then with your inhale, finding some length in the spine. With the exhale, just starting to soften those legs down. So they could be all the way up here. That's absolutely fine, wherever they are. But it's just the idea of gradually, over time, softening the hips, down, opening. And it's really lovely. Now, if that's causing any pain and you're noticing a hunching sensation, why don't you try with the hands behind the back and use them to bring that length all the way up from the base of the spine like we talked about before, all the way up. Imagine that cord pulling you up. And you can do it that option as well if that feels better on the back. So it's your choice. That's your butterfly pose. Kids love that one. And then the other one we did was the forward bend, seated forward bend. So with this, it's nice to do it gradually actually. So just thinking about the belly, touching against the thighs, and then bringing yourself over there. And you can even take the head down. So you might just beginning here, and you can take the knees down a little bit further. See if you can keep the spine straight going down, and then ultimately you're bringing the legs straight, not locking out the knees, but bringing them straight. Inhaling, lengthening, and then taking that belly towards the thighs, maintaining that length in the spine, and then coming down into that space. So as you can see, it's the same as the standing, but we are sitting. And as I say with the standing forward bend, it's better to have bent knees and protect the back, feel good in that, rather than trying to force anything here or creating this arch shape. Okay, I'll just show you that from the side as well. Might be a bit clearer there. So the seated forward bend, you can start with working into it like this, taking the feet down, and then we start to find length there. Okay. Okay, that was lovely. I hope you guys, ladies, have an opportunity to practice your, I think you're on 4 or you're on 5 different poses this week. Either way, have a go and try and do the sequence if you can, and look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Okay, take care everybody. Keep moving. Bye.